Okay, so this is the new bandsaw that I made out of scrap junk from around the area. Some 30-foot light poles that I got from a neighbor that wanted to get rid of them. And most of this steel is all from an old boat hoist that got damaged in the storm last year. So got that all for free. I had to buy the Acme threaded rods for the lift, and I had an old motor and an old panel. I had to buy that switch. That was only like 13 bucks. Bought the wheels and the bandsaw blades, obviously. These bandsaw blades are 176 inches, 3 feet between the uprights, so I can handle logs like this one, which is about 3 feet in diameter. And that one happens to be 12 feet 9, but the sawmill will handle up to 25-foot logs. This is a 10-horse electric motor with dual B style belts. What else? The guides are, this one's adjustable, that one's fixed, but they're 1 inch. I started off, I went with 1 inch diameter pieces of oak, which worked pretty well for the guide pressures, to just keep it held in place so it doesn't tip. But I ended up switching to solid steel, and so far it seems to be working really well. It does a nice job of scraping the resin off of the pitch from the logs off of the blade. It keeps it running nice and clean, and it doesn't seem to have too much friction, so it's not producing a heck of a lot of heat. What else? Oh, these are 3-inch by 3/16 wall steel, and then I have 3.5 inch that fits over it fairly snug. I just put a little shim in to keep it running true. And then these are just pillow blocks, bearings, and I went with 2 frames here that's all welded together solid, just because I heard a lot of people talking about how they had to run really big axle diameters so that it wouldn't bend, because there's a lot of pressure on these. They run to like 1,900 pounds pressure tension in order to keep the blade nice and straight. So by going with 2, it supports the axle on both sides. It's 1.5 inch shaft with the bearings I had were 1.25 inches, so I just machined down the ends to 1.25 inches for that. And then I got these springs from, well, they sell them at Granger, but they're 2,500 pounds per inch of compression. So you can set them at whatever tension you want. It has a little bit of give. What else? We're going to have to go way up to this log, so you can see this is how that works. And over on this side I have a lumber scale, so come over and take a picture of that, Amy. So it just reads right on this nail. You can get fancier than that, but it seems to work. So we do 1 inch diameter. This log is going to be the cast because this 10-horse electric motor probably have to go pretty slow. Okay. We'll just drag this back and get it out of the way, and we'll set this log on here. get this thing on here. Oh yeah, these are the dogs, and I just welded them onto a piece of square tubing because it was a little easier than dealing with round tubing when you weld the end of the pipe to the rod. But you can make them out of anything. The design that I saw was they used 1-inch water pipe, I think, with 3/4-inch water pipe up here and just a T. But I was like, this is what I had, and it seems to be rugged enough. Just cut some teeth into the piece of steel on the end, and the V-groove wheels ride on this piece of 1-inch angle iron, which is just tack welded onto there to guide it. Seems to work well enough. My log stops are, I just have these, just a piece of 2x2 wood with holes drilled in it for different heights. And that one's kind of short because it's sitting on top of the cement block, but most of them are taller. Put this one here. And this one there. Get this thing up there. Okay, Amy's here helping me today, my daughter, and we got the saw guards back on and trimmed off the other end of that log so that it would clear the post. I think it's just gonna clear that, and then it's just gonna clear that, hopefully. If not, we may have to trim this end just a little bit, but we're ready to start cutting here. So I'm going to give this back to Amy and we'll make that first cut. Okay. Still running here. Got to tighten the guard. Don't forget to tighten your guides. Hit on both sides. All right, we're going to take a break and get the chainsaw.